Hey folks, it's Roy Cruz and Son of Beast here. It's NHL Game of the Night on EA Sports. As we have finished the first part of the game of the Blackhawks against the Flyers, we're now sending you down to the next game as we've got the Seattle Kraken facing against the Anaheim Ducks. It's the biggest battle in the Pacific matchups that we have ever been seeing it before, right to the range, from California to the state of Washington of Seattle. And this time, let's see how they can handle it while surviving to hold things last. Starting off with the X Factor players as we get things started off, as the starting goaltender for the Ducks is Lucas Dostal. He'll start things up to get things ready here for the first part of it, and as we will see things up ahead, we'll know if anything gets right by it. Leo Carlson will start things off here for the top of it. He makes it start off with the pressure with the tape-to-tape zones. Then it's Miguel Granlund from the transfer from the San Jose Sharks. It one gives it the send-it pass, and then it was a tape-to-tape zones. Troy Terry with the quick release, pressure, and tape-to-tape. Then we have a couple Rangers players that play here from the Anaheim Ducks. Chris Kreider, the big rig and the big tipper, and Jacob Trouba, the everway with the Trulensa skidder on the shoulder checks. Then Mason McTavish with the quick release in a no contest zone. Then it was Radko Gudas with the Trulensless tipster and a warrior. Then we have is Ryan Strome from the tape-to-tape zones. Then it was Olin Zellweger with the Ely edges and send it pass. Then we have is Frank Vetrano with the pressure and a spark plug. And finally, we have is Pavel Mityukov with the wheels and the send it pass. Now let's see what happens with the Seattle Kraken. Kraken starts up with Vince Dunn, a send it pass in the tape-to-tape zones, with Brandon Montour, the Ely edges that makes it with the Rocket on a slap shot on the effort. Then Jared McCann with filling the pressure. Chandelier Stephenson with only wheels that makes a lightning fast skating speed. Matty Beniers with the no contest zones with the battle strength. Jordan Eberle with the backhand beauty and a big tipper. Then it's Capo Caco from the New York Rangers. He makes an unstoppable, powerful reverse hits. And finally is Elliot Tolvanen. A Rocket makes the extreme heavy slap shots to have it going. And tonight's starting goaltender for the Seattle Kraken is Philip Grubauer. And now we are sending you down to Seattle at the Climate Pledge Arena. Standing in by, I have is one of our newest to the take for Seattle. I have it across here to start things off. Barry, along with Nickel, and in center ice, I give a warm welcome to Seattle, Cool Beast. And we'll see you all later, folks, for the first intermission, second intermission, and the post-game show. Now let's get things on and see what goes next. Ducks, Kraken, next on EA Sports. It's one of the nights here in Seattle. Hey everybody, I am Barry and I'm here with Nickel and the center ice as Cool Beast. Big nights here is happening in hockey as you're ready to have it started. A big night is where we start shining in, the Pride time. It's time to play some hockey, gentlemen. Let's get things show on a roll. Starting goaltenders is in the range between the Seattle Kraken as Philip Grubauer will be starting off for tonight's game. And against the other team as the Anaheim Ducks now has Dostal. We start things with Ryan Strome. He'll have it over as Grubauer will stop that puck. Now find it over to Larson. He'll have it to pass again to McMahon. McCann's pass has broken that one up, and he'll send it all the way down right toward the net. Jacob Trouba will have it over, kick in the range. He'll now have it to Lacombe. Lacombe, big smash, now finds to McCann, again to Dunn. He'll have it to Alexander Larson. Larson now finds to Dunn. He'll have it pass to Larson. He'll give it again to Matty Beniers. Matty Beniers lost that one right toward the net. Has it across it again to McCann. McCann pass to Larson. Here's over to Dunn. He'll have it again to Larson again. Big pass over, now finds to McCann, again to Dunn. Larson fires a shot, blocked on the Goffier, and now rebound by Anaheim. The Ducks are back in offense zone. This gets past Goffier. Shot save made by Grubauer and rebound by Dunn. Well, I got a great feeling with this one. And Vince Dunn was watching it perfectly. And you're spotting that one on with some great use of a communication effort. What we're looking for now is a great save by the goaltender. Set up pass now finds Lindgren. Has it again to Gunner. Gunner now finds Larson, and he'll have that pass. Lindgren fires in right off the again to Dostal, and rebound by Beniers. Looks off to Larson. Big rebound now finding to Beniers. Here's pass now find Larson again. Now the pass over to Gunner. Kuteru finds over to Lindgren. Lindgren shoots, save over the net, and rebounded by Seattle. Lindgren takes it over to Larson. Larson, loose was one, tries to go right turn the net, but it gets blocked and rejected as Kuteru has now given a piece over to Jacob Trouba. Now here's the coming for the Anaheim Ducks. He'll have it cleared out of the zone, and now Matty Beniers gives that one away. Dished around the net, and it's rebound over now to Montour. Here's Cutting now finding the other way. He doesn't get through as Lacombe has it again to Pulley. Pulling pass to Lacombe. Coming pass to Chris Kreider. He'll have it to Granlund. Granlund shoots on a great save by Grubauer. Here's Lindgren. He'll have it to Beniers. Beniers looking for a new line group change. Bad change up here, and this one gets to Jacob Trouba again to Pulley. Pulley tries to turn away. Seattle takes over as the Kraken will now give to Shorts. And there's another one to Brandon Montour. Right toward wing. Gets right back into it when the fire shuts up again by Dostal. Kreider has it again to Jacob Trouba the other way. Now Seattle's back on the offensive zone. Great glove snapped by Grubauer. As he will stop that in play with under 15 minutes in the first. I gotta say what Jacob Trouba made. This is where that slap shot really made this one's own rebound. That big kick was gonna make it off the low. This angle's not really perfect, but you said about Jacob Trouba, he's really like up to the heavy. No pressure really stayed in there for the great ones. Now here's another win, and Anaheim Ducks, another blocker shot made. It's now Evans with the rebound. He carries that one back in the offense zone. Strategy now finds it over to Winterton. Winterton over now then. Lost that puck. Goes right over to McTavish. Anaheim on the offense zone. Myers has got that back. Here's Kenton. Hayden the other way. He gets right to the wall. Rebound by Goffier. Well, this hurts. That makes it really hard and unstable. Nothing to say this now is what happened with Seattle. They've really been like banging it out. That's where it's just going to hurt. Oh, he missed that wide, and that one will rebound it by Seattle, and he'll kick it out of his zone. And let's start with a new line group change. It's Capo will now find DeLon Wright. Right around the net, and rebounded by Elsaik. Elsaik to Capo. He fires a shot, never saved made by Dostal. Getting over now, finding to Dunn. Dunn looks over to Elsaik. Elsaik finds over to Caton. Caton looks to Elsaik. A pass to right. Looks over to Caton. Caton shot. That blocker saved again by Dostal. Seattle on offense. And as the puck leaves out of the zone, Dunn will take his own transition back in the offense zone. He looks to right. Right. Cut motion. Stopped by Dostal. Right, looks over to get it done. Osai shot, stopped by Dostal. That one is another save by the Anaheim Ducks. He'll stop it with just nearing the midway mark. When I got to look for Ben Myers, that really made a little bit of a rushing sprint. I was really sure that was going to keep out there, but they weren't sure how that was going to keep on happening. Now sitting on ice, I will now send it over. It's Cool Beast. He'll say enough more about Vince Dunn. Thanks, folks. Vince Dunn was really what they all expected to do for Arhanis better behave. And this captain of his own ability now brings the recruiters in from Capo and from other teams from Chandelier Stephenson. Last season with the posting of the range, this season was not really what they were all meant to be. The expectation might just choose things how that's going to leave a mark, and hopefully on the range we'll try to keep things going for Vince Dunn. His powerful moves is just the right way to keep things on from the trackers. Let's hope that this keeps on making it back alive again. I'll find about the most teams to have a composition. Guys, thanks, Cool Beast. Now finds again over to Kraken as he rolls it around the net. And now as done, we'll have it. Seattle on the offensive zone. You'll have it over again to Kotaru. Go! Booms it right over into the bulldozing pile right to the bench. He almost went tipping over. That's pick and tower in position. That really is going to make a hurt. Grubauer stops that in play as they're getting ready for the next puck drop. Now it will have it over the other way. The send-off is Chris Kreider. Chris Kreider is one of his biggest stars after transfer from the New York Rangers, and he now has been working his way through to show things off. The new season without the team, we wouldn't be able to be happy enough with a lot of new trade lines to give to him some new contracts from Chris Kreider. When he helps his teammate out from Jacob Trouba, he wants to make some zone tape-to-tapes in some big range. He might show off how he can handle it, but this might be one hard take to the other. I'm watching on this play here. This might be the best one to keep those eyes on. Back to you guys. Anaheim on the rushing offense zone. That one is kicked off. And now it's Anaheim will grab to Kreider. Kreider right toward the zone. Clubbed and snapped by Grubauer. Guns finds it over to Larson. The pass now finds it over to Eberle. Eberle looks over into the wing, and you'll have it around the net. The bank over to McCann. McCann pass again to Larson. Larson pass to Lundgren. Fires on a tip and range shot. Never stopped by Dostal. 6:45 remaining in the first period as they're ready to kick things off. Big sets to take here for Seattle and for Anaheim as both scores are even. Now the win here for Myers. He'll have it over to Montour. Montour looks over to Lundgren. Shoots! Glove snatched by Dostal. As he'll have that one, keeping it out as we're nearing 5 minutes in the first period. A lot of a time on attack for Seattle. 4:41 over 38 seconds over Anaheim Ducks. They still got to find a way to get through it. Myers wins another faceoff, and he'll have that pass to Montour. Montour looks, Lundgren shoots, never save, made by Dostal. This is where it's going to get fancy afterward. You don't spot that eye, that really is going to make that one mark out. Now puck winds out of the zone, and this one will rebound it again. He has it over to Killorn. Killorn now finds the Lacombe on a chance and effort. Edmondson swings it. He's trying to put a sling, but it's now Granlund to get him to Sinecki. Sinecki shots blocked. Rebound by Winterton. 5 minutes remaining in the first period as now Seattle now finds it up to Meyer. Meyer is right around the net to Schwartz. Off to Montour. Pass back over to Schwartz. Almost turned it over for Anaheim. Gives a little spin here. Outside Montour. Going for deflection. Does not get right through it. And it's now again to Colangelo, to Chris Kreider. And now Lacombe for the Anaheim Ducks. Looks over to Wache. Wache gets whipped around the boards. And now Montour is on to the races. Here's Montour. Cuts motion. Stop by Dostal. One-time Evans shoots, another save made by Dostal. Shoots in, big stop by Dostal. Takes a 3-time stop effort over on Anaheim. What you don't expect now with Dostal, that really is going to give a hugest hit marking to the making. I was never been spotting this one on, but that really must have been like it was going to be like a hardest to make the consent. That really is going to make that one pay out of it. Pass back outside, now finds Evans, looks to Kakko. Evans, pass to Kakko. Shoots one, over and over the net, and goes to Hellison. Gives to right, big blocker save, big number stop by Dostal. Rebound by Kenton. Here's to Evans. He gets knocked in the defenders, and now it's Chris Kreider the other way. Kreider looks it around the net. It's given by Montour. And he'll stop at the freeze and play as it's offside on Seattle. You have no idea how Lucas Dostal has been doing for him. Watch this big save. This is wild. When you got no range on the room, you would really been showing of how he was going to be able to keep it out. But that save and play by Lucas Dostal, he really may have that one keeping it out. That is one of a heckable drive on the saving play. Nowhere to get through. That's where it's going to go out. Dostal's team still trying to look for another save scare in the game as we're nearing the final minute in regulation for the first period. Matty Beniers wins the faceoff. Now it's hit over right into the offense zone. He'll have that drive. Now find to Eberle. Eberle looks over. Now find to Olasaik. McCann now finds to Olasaik again. Over to McMahon. Beniers shoots for redirection on a reflection back up into the net, and it's given away by McTavish. Mustafa in the middle. Stopped by Grubauer. Under a minute left in the first period. Have that one-timer. It's missed wide. Thrown. No pass given middle here. Seattle on the offense zone. Here finds Matty Beniers. Matty Beniers. Pass to Olasaik. Gives that shot. Buffer. Big hit by Matty Beniers. Chance for the shot. Shoots in. Staffed by Dostal. 6 seconds in the first period as we have their one last face-off in the Anaheim territory. Now to win for Anaheim, and it's now Zellweger. He'll have it cleared out. And no taken away, and now end of first period. Therefore, no score in the game between Seattle and Anaheim. Second period's coming up next when we return after these messages. Hey folks, welcome to the first intermission on EA Sports for the game of the night. Terry Crews still watching on this one with the game tracker, and you'll see what's going on. What's happening over here on the other side of it?
Well, I've been looking over it now for the action on the track. There was a lot of big huges on the shots in the play for Matty Beniers' team as they were just trying to watch things out. Try to look for some big motion on the attacker range. And looking for some coach backs feeds, and he was really looking for a saucer pass to give that overall a better percentage. He's really up to it, guys. We need to be sharing things through the limit of risky passes for the strong offensive opportunity. That was one, but there's still a lot more to get things in there. We'll try to keep an eyes on that, right?
Alright, thank you there, Terry. And here's how they do after the first period. 20/9 is the total shots on goal with 11 hits and remained by both teams. And it was 6:24/58 time on attack for Seattle, 91/89, and 4 face-off wins for Anaheim and Seattle. Now to Houston and Beast of how these two gotten pretty much no goal scare. Your takes on Anaheim Ducks?
Well, the Anaheim Ducks have been really giving that one with the mighty takeout, and there was no way to try to position yourself. You were really up to the mechanical to keep that one out, but there's no way that you really have to choose for whenever you're doing this on offense or defense. You really have a lot of time left, but there's nowhere to find for you. You just got to make sure you're really up to the right range to keep that out. And now over to you, Roy, about the Seattle Kraken.
Seattle's been doing it for so many times. They're trying to look for the open shots on that, look for deflection, get back into the game, open net. I mean, this is pride. I mean, whatever happens with the City Edition, they don't seem like they were really been weaping it up for another huge look. There's no way that they could find that one with the back looking opening on the slot. They were sure need to be finding an open way to give that one with a good goal. They got to get through this, and they got to get that goal in.
Well, that's able to do for the first intermission. Let's see what happens with the second period.
Now back to the game. Barry's all you. See you later for the second.
Welcome back, folks, as we're ready to get started for the second period. Both teams are ready to get on with the matchup, and we are back on ice at Climate Pledge Arena, ready to go. With the start of it, it has been a closest range, no goals to take in for the first period. What does this mean to you, Nickel?
Well, you got to get to see that Dostal made that one with a huge save.
And I was really showing it, why is this really the right way that you have to get into? What Dostal made, he was really making the hugest save plays. This is no turnout to be a blowout on everything. What happened the other way for it was Grubauer that made Evan with a huge on a knockoff save. That wasn't a big effort when you really are spotting that on. They need to get off thing right through it. Otherwise, they'll be like kicked out and nothing to find. Here's Larson the other way. Back around the middle! He did not have the right opportunity as Eberle was blocked and denied by a defender. He finds Eberle. That was almost going to be a great deflection. I mean, I would almost like to see that. That's really right into it. Here's Stephenson. Back to pass again to Lindgren. Now find a Montour. To pass again to Lindgren. Shoots for Stephenson. Blocker saved by Dostal. Looks over to Goffer and find McTavish. That one slips it, and that goes out of the blue line, and it's now Tobin in the other way. Up and around the net. Eberle, the pass again to Lindgren. Montour finds the Tobin, and Lindgren gives the set to Stephenson. Looks to Montour. Montour looks to Stephenson. Speckenke takes back to Goffer. Goffer pass broken up by Lindgren. Lindgren wipes and swings it out. And now here's Stephenson out there with a little help on the offensive zone. Stephenson, no contest ability, trying to get it back in there. Behind the net is Frederick Guderer. With Evans, Osai again. Dolan shoots, save by Dostal. 15:47 remaining in the second period. As they're still looking for a chance to have the open net. Well, I don't spot that one on. I mean, they were really been like keeping that zone out. And I wasn't sure that Seattle was going to get that one with another goal. That really might have been like a hurtful. Turned it for the works. Here's Osai again. Kako shot, stop blocked, and it's rebound by Wright. Again to Osai. Finds again to Evans. Evans looks to Osai. Pass again to Evans, and he looks it over to Kako. Evans moves right in, shoots, and save by Dostal. 15:08 remaining in the second period, as there's still no score in the game. As we're nearing back, passing the 15-minute mark before the midway mark. Wright wins the face-off. Osaic again to Evans with the back-to-back winning face-offs for Kraken. Now Harkins gives it back to Midnyakov. Have the pass to Harkins. Anaheim racing toward the zone. That munches it out, and it's rebounded over to Osaic. Doesn't give a sling here. Now this time he gives to Caton. He looks right to Wright. Wright looks it off. Oh, sick of the move and over the head. But it's just off the net on the top and doesn't get that swing on the magical bounce. Well, I thought that was a great play. I mean, I would like to see how the magic bounce works. Remember this last time against the other team, there was no bouncing to find the puck on the way, and you just noticing that this one was given deflection? That's where that takes a deflection and right away they have some pretty tricky moves. That needs to give some a little slinging pass, and right over with the magic touch, this might have been just the right way to get through it. I would have seen that. This would have been a nice, great take. Vince Dunn finds Larson. Larson looks to pass, and it's Hullison out of the zone. Rebound by Strome. Strome, glove save by Grubauer. As Dunn, pass to Guderer. Guderer looks it off. The pass to Tobinen. Tobinen spins it across. He takes a shot. That goes down. Rebound by Guderer. As Lindgren moves it around, looks to Guderer, has it to Stephenson. He takes that fiery miss wide. Doesn't get through. Killorn. Killorn looks it over. The back off the glass. Rebound by Tobinen. Shoots one. Another save by Dostal. Here's one time in there. Shoots another save by the goaltender. Bumped up into the man traffic. Here's Tobinen. Goes right across. Looks over. Montour. Back to Montour. Fires off to Lindgren. Tobin shoots. Tries to get a rebound. He could not have the answer in as he just denied by the goaltender. Wow, what a save. I wasn't expecting what Lucas Dostal made. You see this crazy action here for Dostal? That's where that time is going to get flying by. And he was not stopping this one. That's another big save, and you don't expect it how this one was really turning that out. But that was unbelievable. You can't just deny it on the effort by the goaltender if you're going to make a rush. A lot of time to be played in this period. No score still as we're nearing the midway mark. Matty Beniers wins the faceoff. He looks to Montour. Montour finding Lindgren. Here's McCann. Another save by Dostal. Goes in the middle. He denied the effort. Couldn't get for two to get back in for Matty Beniers as Johnson carries it out. Anaheim racing, and he's swallowed up by Grubauer. Here in the midway mark in the second period as he'll get time to breathe in and get ready for a puck drop. Now, I have a lot of big range here. I am watching on Dostal, and I'm watching here on Grubauer. What is your take, and who do you think will have the better save of the night? I bet Grubauer may have that. I mean, I'm watching on this. Hugest saves. Might see what's going on. I don't know how he will handle this one in there, but I'm just like expecting this one to go by fire. I'm really watching on this, so don't get away with that. Oh, what a stopping block being shot by McCann. Gives it away. Holding shoots, missed that wide opportunity, and now it goes over to Seattle. Here comes Montour. For 2-1, he cannot have the right timing, and he will have it stopped up by the goaltender. 9 minutes remaining in the second. You could see what Grubauer really did. I mean, this rebounding was nowhere to be going by, and that's Grubauer. One time changes everything. This Fred analyzes was really over 50%. That really was a nice save. You don't expect it how that's going to bring it out. Never win here by Mitnikov. Zellweger has it out with a cross in the Seattle territory. Here's there, McTavish shot glove. Save by Grubauer. Looks over to Dunn. Dunn doesn't get the effort in there. Looks over to McTavish. Guffner. Chuck. Brutus shoots. It's blocked and denied. Rebound by Seattle. And Kapokako will grab a piece. He looks to the long right. He's over now by Kanan. It's given up by Zellweger to stop that on a scoring chance to Gauthier. Gauthier rolls around, shoot, save. What a stop by Grubauer on a diving play. You got to see that. And when you believe this one about Grubauer, you really got a great take on action. Still no score under 8 minutes remaining in the second period. Looks over now, finds Evans. Evans looks over now. He has it across. Evans swings and misses on a hit. Grubauer. The pass to Evans. Looks to Stephenson. Over to Tobinin. Gives back to Stephenson. Pass to Osaic. Here's the one for Evans. Evans looks to Osaic. Here's another. Shoots for Evans. Backhander. Shots blocked. Rebound by Stephenson. Over now to Osaic. Gives to Kudaru. Shoots for Evans. Shoots. Saved by Dostal. Now it's Trouba. A pass to Ryan Strome. Strome goes right out of the way. Defender traffic on the detour. And to Evans. Evans waits around. Overpass to Kudaru is broken up. Gives to Evans. Evans chance to Tobin. Takes fires one. Over and missed out of the way. One time Lindgren. Shoots blocker. Saved by Dostal. Tobin. Trying to see what they can do for Montour. Myers. Back to Kudaru. He's still going. Under 5 minutes. Shot. Glove saved by Dostal. And you'll have it freezing here with under 5 minutes in the second period. They're looking for a goal by both teams. Myers wins the faceoff. Here's Montour. Shoots for Lindgren. Chance for Montour. She fires. Big blocker on a pass. Saved by Dostal. And Mitnikov is back on ice. Flings it around it. As now Lindgren will have it over. The offense trying to working on through the carry. He kicks that off to Winterton. Ellison shoots, save on a blocker by Grubauer. That Grubauer's really up to the perfect. Change off would have to do for him. Miller shoots, every blocker on a save by Grubauer, and back to Winterton. Winterton on a rushing attack. To Schwartz, shoots, save, it goes out. Rebound by Dunn. Larson goes right between the crease and the lines, over by defenders, is given over by Minkoff. And now as Washi has it. He's broken that in, saved by Grubauer. Now Grubauer's going to keep going. And now here comes Beniers, here they come. Rolls in, stopped by Bostall. McTavish gets to Wash. Wash broken the stick. And now this will give to Chris Kreider. Kreider chance, back to Dunn. Dunn loses it. On a no contest zone, trying to watch up, and it's stopped by Grubauer. Larson passes to McCann. As he passes in the zone by Anaheim. Larson fires to Benny Beniers, he just gives it out. Try to watch in on the contest zone. Back on the ice is Osaic. Gives him up to Matty Beniers. Final minute in the second period. And here comes Kreider. Kreider got cut in zone. He's on alone and another stop on the goaltender. Caton has it again to the right. He got all of it that time and he's really watching it carefully. Here's Caton. Shoots off the glove again by Dostal. And now it's Gonfier has it out of McTavish. Looks to Osaic. Time ticking down. Here's Osaic. Wipes out. No penalty. Backhand. Glove save by Dostal. Oh, wow. What a rocket on the run. And we're going to be having a hard on a long night. Well, I bet on Gruda. So when he really hit this is where it rips it off. He wipes out that too soon. I thought there's going to be a penalty on Anaheim, but that made it look like it was going to be clean again. Don't talk about this. That really is making a hugest, dirty, Naston play to have no effort. Therefore, we have passed 2 periods in period number 2. The first period is where it comes to the mark to Verdes. With saved by Dostal and Grubauer, third period. We'll be back with you shortly.
Hey everybody, it is the second intermission of the NHL Game of the Night on EA Sports. This is the closest call with the great battle between Dostal and Grubauer. Both guys did a wonderful job. But there is a lot of big chance opportunity as we are checking out the other side of it. As for the hits, it was 26/22 for Seattle, and it was 40/21 for Seattle on the total shots on goal. 93/89 was Anaheim. They made it look perfectly fine, and 9/8 was the face-off wins, but they did. They were not sure how they were going to keep it up, but that goal would almost be a Seattle Kraken goal. I wasn't really sure how that was going to keep by Dostal, but he denied that effort with the great opportunity. Now let's have your takes here, Roy, of why did Seattle keep making the shots in there? Well, I have no idea how they were doing that, but I was not sure how they were going to keep things going. This is because they were shooting so many times, and there was no help here on the offense, no screen to give, and that would have been almost in there. I mean, he wasn't really sure where he was going to get there. That's really going to be a hard time for Seattle to try to keep up a rush. And now over to you, Son of Beast, for Anaheim. Well, Anaheim really may have had that great use. I mean, they did so well. I mean, they just got that right on the stroke. They weren't really sure how that is going to keep on moving out. But this time, I guess that the Seattle Kraken and the Ducks might just go into OT if it's a chance or not. I think there's a 50-50% chance here that might be OT or not. So, is that a concern with you? Yep, I think it's a good concern, so
we'll have to wait on that and find out about the third period to get a goal. And now back to T center ice and the crew, as now Barry is standing by to get ready for the third. We're all ready for you. See you later for the post-game show.
It comes down now in the third period as both teams stays even. And we're ready for the third period. This is where we all come down to have the next goal win. Nickel, this was really like an unbeatable motion. What do you think you saw this one with the goaltenders? Those stalls really perfect. I was never spot that on. If that really waste comes into action. I was betting on this for Dostal. He has a huge save. You have to give credit on that. Nothing gives me concerns. That really was a huge stop play actions. What a make a skate here for Jacob Trouba. He's knocking that one down there really hard. And I don't know why they're doing this, but they really wanted to knock it out. Matty Beniers, this team is back in defense. He gets a block, and it's now Larson again to Everly. Everly right around the wing. McCann back to Trouba. Here's Dylan Strome. Pass down to Guffer. Guffier shots. Another save made by Philip Grubauer. And McTavish. Blocks by Dunn. And rebound by McCann. McCann pass. Beniers goes to Everly. Shot. Rebound McTavish. Shot. Saved again by Dostal. McTavish now has it. In middle shot, one time is denied by Grubauer. Larson has it over, now finds Stephenson. Stephenson rumbles it right toward the center ice. Now McTavish will have it. This is where it's going to get really dirty. I don't know what's going to keep happening, but that really might have stepped it out. Crowd rolling into the roar here as we're just past 2 minutes by in the third. Stephenson. Larson. Team's running out of breath. Now finds it Stephenson. Burr shot. Tobin backhand. Blocker save made again by Dostal. Rivals right toward it again. Now it finds Snecki. Snecki shot. Another save and a goaltender. Makes it easy look patch and clean. And it's now Philip Grubauer. He is trying to look for a huge save to make his own end. Now this will be an icing on Seattle as we stop that emotion with only 16:10 remaining. You have to love this. Philip Grubauer is really making the huge on saves. You have to stop quitting on this. When you don't see that, this is where that Grubauer is really kicking it up a notch. He's got 6 saves in the periods. That's really considerable. Lots of time left to be played in the period, and there is no score to be remained as they're looking for one. Wright wins the face-off. Here's Lindgren. In zone to Wright. Wright chance over. Skates pedaling backwards again to Lindgren. Here's Wright. Chance fire shot. Another blocker saved again by Dostal. Looks to Granlund. Pass to Hellitzen. Hellitzen watching off and a save off and again by Larson. He looks again now off again to Seattle. A pass to Wright. Wright's got it back. Wright backs it out. Now finds the Lindgren. Lindgren passes to Larson over. Now on the wing. To get back to Lindgren. Lindgren shoots for the rebound. Man, he could not have his own back in the net. As now Brandon gets a piece. Wright's got it back. This fires him. That one will be Grubauer. And now you'll have it dished to Lindgren. That's where it was going to come back in there. I thought that slinging was going to work, but that didn't make the rebound happen. Caden now finds Larson. Here's Lindgren. He gives a fire one on the side burn, and another save by Dostal. Midgakov. Anaheim looking for a full steam ahead. Colangelo shot, another save by Grubauer. Granlund. Right around off the board. Trouba gives a big smackdown, and he's off to Myers. Looking for 2-on-1. He's over now. Chance! Score! And the rebound answer. Wayne Clear has now given us Seattle on the board. Just look at this perception here. This is a big ranging offense 2-on-1. When there's no stop ranges, gives it in. That one is right into the range.
He now has this goal, and now Winterton has his first goal in his career. Have it start on his first game of the night. And you see Dolstall, he was reaching it out for one. He was trying to get that one with a quick time reaction. But then, this did not happen. That is where that first goal really meets a man. And the win will be Anaheim Ducks, as now it will be the first goal for Winterton to have that early lead. Not a choice, but now for the third, as they have an answer nearing the midway mark. Bumps it right toward the wall, and now it's over again to Evans. Evans looks over to Beniers. Everly, he goes down and rebound by Poling. He'll now have a look to Harkins. Harkins, backhand. Oh, what a save by Grubauer. How did you make the diving play? He made that stop. Well, I gotta say that this is where the diving comes in. You see that snatch? That's where it's 1, and this is 2, and the third was snatched like this. Watch what happened. Doink! You just have that good look at the rhythm. But Grubauer, he really had a huge save. There's no way to have that chance afterward when the Kraken master really had that one, tended to go out. That won't be like the day afterwards when you don't see him. Matty Beniers wins the face-off. Takes a swimming hit. Shown. Should stop by Grubauer. 11:47 remaining in the third period as Seattle's trying to hold on to its lead to look for a shutout win in Seattle. Never win for Matty Beniers. Seattle will now have his own change again to McCann. McCann, stick lifted by Trubo. Schoen goes right after it. And here's McTavish on a Osaic shot. Another save by Grubauer. He has now over again. Pass to Evans. Seattle on the offense. Here's McCann. Around the net. Doesn't get through as Goffier will have his own zone to give over. Look to McTavish. And here's Truba. Giving the wing over. A pass to McTavish on a move around shot. Doesn't get through it. And this loses control on the puck handling. And now Evans will have it. A set to Lacombe. Past the midway mark in the third period. And it's now McTavish will have out. Osaiga again to Evans. Here's another look here on to Tobin. Tobin chance. Off to Evans on a chance in. Bruner a chance in middle. That kicks off in a pad. Again by Dostal. He was really been waiting and patient afterward. Don't deal with the mess. Osaic now finds the Dunn. Looks over to Tobin. Dunn shoots. Blocker save again by Dostal. The Ducks rolls in on the rush. McTavish nowhere to be left on. The Kraken will now have it again to Kapokako. Kapokako waits at a move. Right to Caton. Caton tries to give to Larson. Fires shot. Blocked in front, and it's rebounded by Zellweger. And Chris Kreider will set it out. Pass to Kudas. Big hit in the center ice. Now pulling. Shoots to the fire slapper. That goes with another stop by Grubauer. And it's Larson. Oh, he went down. No penalty here by Anaheim. That's really just how nasty you're dealing for. Mighty Ducks are now the Dirty Ducks. They've really been like slamming on from the sea of Kraken. They won't expect to play this play. And move around shot misses again. That one goes right to Johnston with another huge save. What a big hit. He takes a seat in Seattle territory. Big save by Dostal. Wow, what do you believe on that? That's really where it goes right in, over it, and then not my watch. Short shot, big block, off the glass, rebound by Lindgren. Montour finding the Mayers, and he has it again to Montour. Lindgren shoots off, doesn't go right through Kako. Slows things down, Meyer waiting for its new line group. Everybody takes it off. And you'll have to get ready to have a new change. Lindgren now finds to Matty Beniers back on the offense zone. Around the net, Montour returns on ice. Back over to Lindgren. Lindgren to Eberle. Backhander. Hit off the face mask by Dostal. And Johnson the other way. Near just about passing a 5-minute mark in the third period presented by Discover. Stop made again by Dostal. This is really what gets it off. And this is where the answer must have had it back. They really are working it off. Looks to Montour. Here's a slapper. Misses off on target and it goes all the way down to Seattle. And now it's Grubauer will have to done and give to Eberle. This needed to do a little bit of a reset here. I really wanted to see what's going to get into it. McCann drive fires around the net. A set now. The pass Beniers to Montour. Montour to Guru. Shoots for deflection. Almost gets away from it on the ricochet. But it's stopped by Dostal to have some a little rest to get ready for another puck drop. What do you say about Ryan Lindgren? This is where I was been spotting that one on you taking a seat. That gets right into the net. That's a little bit of a bench of it. You gotta watch out for this place. Crowd doing a lot of a big favor here at the Climate Pledge Arena. 1-0 Seattle score. Stephenson wins the faceoff. Here's Larson again to Dunn. Dunn to Tolvanen. Tolvanen to Larson. Has it again to Tolvanen. Here's another shot and stopped by Dostal. Just about 3:25 in the third period as the time is nearing to the end. Back-to-back winning faceoff wins for Stephenson. Osaic Evans now finds the Tolvanen. Tolvanen pass to Osaic. Shoots. Blocker save by Dostal. Full pressure to Evans. He goes to Tolvanen. Releases a Canyon. Another save made by Dostal. Grab around net. Lacombe rebounds it again to Trouba. And now McTavish will have his own re-clearing energy for Dostal. Dumps it around the net. Tolvanen the other way. Now has it off to Evans. Evans went off a bit. And Granlund trying to look for a tying game to Harkins. Harkins on a chance. Middle play is broken up by Guru. And here's Stephenson. Takes a break. Guru shot. Doesn't get thrown by on a defender. And now has it to Stephenson again to Larson. Over to Stephenson. Shoots one. Another save by Dostal. Guru spins the motion. And Harkins carries that one out. Just a long way down to a final minute in the third period. McCann wipes out. Rebound up by the Seattle. And there shoots another save by Dostal. Midyakov again to Colangelo. Goaltender to the bench. Extra tacklers on. And stopped by Grubauer with another saving effort. And here's Dunn. He will now slings the pass. Eberle, they score! Seattle now taking the 2-0, and Eberle, with no fights, initiative, he'll have his own goal to take it ahead. Well, it's just that time to be here. In the middle, it's where it happens with Eberle, and he crosses the ice, gives that shot, and right in the net. Well, I've got to say now, the Seattle Kraken has really been under fire. They are back, and they've been beating it up by the Ducks, and without the win, there was nothing to give the effort. I was really sure enough that I was really been watching it on Philip Grubauer. He's making a huge save. He's one of my best playing games of the night, dear fellas. Right, choose, scores! And now it's a 3-0 lead. We'll take a shutout win in Seattle. Yep, a shutout win it is. Shane Wright has that deep in his zone after Kako and Montour. That's a few more. Yeah, that's another one you're going to give into. So that's where it's a couple goals are going to get into off. That's right. He flings it and said, yep, that's all for you, Seattle. And it is from here. It wasn't enough for Seattle to have some big goals in the first and second period. They found a little bit of a room to have some breathing practices, to have some little heart beating range. That's where it happens. You can't make that win. And with the fans rising against Kraken's team, Seattle wins in the shutout 3-2. All rise to Philip Grubauer, a beauty save of his game of the night. That's what I know about Grubauer. He really would have to give it all when his biggest professional doesn't really stand to quit. But when you do for it, you just really have to make one chance. And how about the one of the hugest salute to the fans? The mascots. We win. Well, that's been the end of it for now, and as for Game of the Night, it's been completed for the second game. Thank you for watching some of our big matchups from the Ducks and Kraken. Well, if you're all the folks here along with Cool Beast and Nickel, I'm Barry. You've been watching the gameplay of the NHL Game of the Night on EA Sports. So long. Okay, Barry, thank you so much. Time for 3-star players of the game as Jordan Everly with a goal in 7 hits. He only made it this far to have that with the big hit. And that one was big in a sling to have this empty net goal. And then the 2nd-star player goes to Philip Grubauer with 32 saves. He was on a machine to make the shutout win over the Anaheim. And then your 1st-star player of the game was Lucas Dostal. With 56 saves in the game, he just makes a diving on the effort to try to get a goal for Seattle, but it was denied short. And your final statistics are right in the range: 59 over 32 total shots on goal for Seattle, 37 over 35 Anaheim Ducks on a hit, 1802 over 403 time on attack on Seattle, and it was 90 over 89 passing effectiveness for Anaheim, and it was 14 over 13 face-off wins. Wow, talk about this one here there, Roy. I mean, without that, they lost the last game of the night against the New Jersey Devils, and then they lost against the San Jose Sharks. But now, thank goodness, we've got this back. Seattle Kraken knocks down the Ducks. A big shutout win was a nice and a huge success for their teams. We'll see you again for our next game as the Hurricanes battle against the Utah Mammoths here for Boosie's team. And we'll have to see what next game goes on to see what gets in. Well, along with my crew, my broadcasting partner, along with Barry, Nickel, and Cool Beast, I'm Roy Cruz with Terry Cruz and Senate Beast. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time for as a while as the game of the night of the NHL dial. Have a great night, and thanks for watching. Adios, everyone.
If you don't, somebody will.